Hi guys, it's Carly. We're back again for another Vinyasa Gentle here with my friends, and Banjo wants to join us again too. So come on to your back. Coming onto your back here and at home. Taking up as much space as you want. Spread the feet wide, arms can spread wide. Allow the feet to drop open, the palms face up. Settling in here, soften from head to toe. And then bring awareness back to your breath. Take that full breath, inhale all the way to the top, fill it all the way up. Long breath, exhale, let it all go. Another full breath, inhale, fill it all the way up, expand the rib cage. Long breath, exhale, let it all go. And so most of us are not too accustomed to dealing with too much discomfort on the regular basis. We're usually able to go to the grocery store and get whatever we want. We can quench our thirst whenever we want. We can pretty much take care of everything. But lately, that hasn't been the case. Most of us can't find any toilet paper. We can't buy eggs or milk, a lot of the regular things that are just always available. And so discomfort, it really is a threshold for change. It tells us whether we should stay or make a change, whether we should push through it or change how we practice. And that's what we explore today, bringing your awareness back to your breath. Take that full breath, inhale all the way to the top, fill it all the way up. Long breath, exhale, let it all go. Another full breath, inhale, filling it all the way up, expand the rib cage. Long breath, exhale, let it all go. On your inhale, bringing the knees into the chest, wrap the arms around the shins, forehead comes up to the knees. On the exhale, lower the knees over to the left side. As you twist and gaze over to the right, simple supine spinal twist. And so we often experience discomfort on our mats. In some of these postures, some of them are not super easy. But that is the point. This practice gives us the ability to get through these difficult postures here in this room so that when we walk outside those doors, we can get through those difficult times in our lives. It's all a practice. On the inhale, bring the knees back through center, wrap arms around the shins, forehead comes up to the knees. Exhale, lower the knees over to the right side. As you twist and gaze over to the left, simple supine spinal twist. And so how do we get through this discomfort here in this room, in some of these postures? How do we get through the discomfort outside these doors? We breathe. We breathe. When you're feeling discomfort, when you're feeling like you're at your edge, come back to your breath. When you can't take any more, come back to your breath. Your breath will always get you through. On the inhale, bring the knees back through center. Wrap arms around the shins. Forehead comes up to the knees. Now on the exhale, beginning to rock long on the spine, forward and back. As you rock forward, feet begin to touch. As you rock back, back of the head touches, picking up momentum here. Next time you come forward, come to seated, and then cross the legs in front of you. Hands come to heart center, sitting up tall. On your inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Palms touch, gaze goes up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale again, sweep the arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze goes up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Now on your inhale, right hand to the ground next to your right hip. Left arm dives up and over the head, fingertips pointing toward the right. Take the gaze up to those lifted fingertips or toward the ceiling. Rolling that top shoulder back in space, you'll be able to open the heart space, the chest up more toward the ceiling here. Inhale, coming back up through center. Now the left hand to the ground next to the left hip. Right arm dives up and over the head, fingertips now point to the left. Gaze to the lifted fingertips toward the ceiling. Rolling that top shoulder back in space, opening the chest up even more. You'll feel so much more through the side body. Inhale, coming back through center now. This time on the inhale, right hand to the ground behind the right hip, left hand to the outside of the right knee or thigh. You're using that leverage you have here to twist and gaze behind you. You can stay here with that right hand planted or sit up super tall, tighten through the core, and the right arm can drape across the low back. Using that leverage you have, twist even more. One more inhale here. Exhale, unwind back through center. Now on the inhale, left hand to the ground behind that left hip, right hand to the outside of the left thigh or knee. Use that leverage you have, twist and gaze behind you. You can stay here with that left hand planted or sit up super tall, tighten the core, and then drape that left forearm around the low back. Using your leverage, twist a little more here. Now on the exhale, unwind back through center. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze goes up. On your exhale, interlace fingers behind your back. Bring that one big fist to the center of your low back. Slide that one big fist so it sits on your right hip. Tilt your right ear toward your right shoulder. Feeling the stretch through the left side of the neck and shoulder. Inhale to come back up through center. Now slide that one big fist over to the left. Let it sit on your left hip. Tilt the left ear toward the left shoulder. Inhale, coming back up through center. Release your bind. Sweep the arms up overhead. Palms touch, gaze goes up. On your exhale, both hands come to the ground in front of you. Shift your weight forward into tabletop pose. Hands and knees on your inhale here. Exhale, draw the crown of the head forward, lengthening the spine. Now on the inhale, lift gaze, drop the belly, send the tailbone high. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, draw the navel in and up. Inhale, lift the gaze, drop the belly, send tailbone high. Exhale, tuck the chin, round the spine, draw the navel in and up. Taking a few more rounds here of cat-cow on your own to the rhythm of your own breath. Connect your breath to your movement at your own speed. You can stay here in cat-cow or maybe make it a little bit bigger. So as you pass through neutral tabletop, sit your hips back to your heels. Find child's pose here. Connect the forehead to the ground. Arms come long in front of you. Now on your inhale, press yourself up through hands and knees. On the exhale, keep the arms straight, shift shoulders past the wrists, roll the chest forward into cobra pose. Lift the chest, lift the gaze. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Exhale, sit your hips back to your heels, child's pose. Inhale, back up to tabletop. Exhale, roll it forward, one fluid movement, lift the chest, lift the gaze. Inhale, back to tabletop. Exhale, sit your hips back to your heels, child's pose. Taking a few more rounds now of this bigger flow to the rhythm of your own breath. You can always go back to cat-cow or you can stay in child's pose as long as you want. This is always your practice. One more round through whichever flow you chose, and then meeting me back together in tabletop, hands and knees on your inhale. On the exhale, tuck the toes, shift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet here, sway hips from side to side. Find any movement that works for you in this first down dog. Bending one knee at a time, rooting down one heel at a time. You can bend that right knee, shift the hips to the right, take the gaze under the left shoulder. Switching to the other side, straighten the right leg, bend the left knee, shift the hips to the left, gaze under the right shoulder. Switching back and forth through the sides. And then one more cycle of breath here till we find stillness so we can make those little adjustments in downward facing dog. So first start by spreading all 10 fingers super wide on your mat. Then press the floor away with your hands. You're sending all the weight out of your upper body into the hips and the thighs. Sink the heels to the ground even more. Turning the arm bones in so armpits more face the ears. Drop the ears past the biceps, chest toward the thighs, gaze between your upper thighs, maybe even at the navel. On your inhale, soften the knees, gaze goes forward, walk your feet all the way up to your hands. Toes come up to the wrists, palms down, look up to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to stand, sweep arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, both hands come down. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, step both feet back, high plank, top of a push-up. Pause here. So option to modify chaturanga, lower knees to the ground, uncurl toes. Shift shoulders past the wrists, bend elbows, hug them in so tight so your elbows touch your sides, come all the way to the belly. From here, hover the hands up, lift the chest up on your inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press yourself up to hands and knees. Exhale, tuck the toes, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So that's an option. You can pass through baby cobra each time, or there's a couple more. On the inhale, soften knees, gaze goes forward, step or hop to the top. Toes to the wrists, look up to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, sweep arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, both hands come down. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, step both feet back, high plank, top of a push-up. Pause here. So another option, lower knees to the ground, uncurl toes, shift shoulders past the wrists, bend elbows, lower all the way to the belly. So this time, press into the palms, lift the chest up, maybe low cobra, straighten the arms all the way to full cobra pose, or one step further, press into the tops of the feet, lift the thighs up off the ground, roll heart space forward. There's that upward facing dog. Exhale, pass through hands and knees if you need to, tuck the toes, shift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So lots of options here. Always take what works for you. You can skip it all together by going straight to down dog, or take full chaturanga to upward facing. Choice is yours. On the inhale, soften knees, gaze goes forward, step or hop to the top, toes to the wrists, look up to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, sweep arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze up. Exhale, forward fold, both hands come down. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, step both feet back, high plank, top of a push-up. Flow through chaturanga your way. Inhale, roll heart forward, baby cobra, cobra pose, or upward facing. Exhale, over the toes, downward facing dog. On your inhale, soften knees, gaze goes forward, step or hop to the top, toes to the wrists, look up to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, sweep arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze goes up. Exhale, forward fold, both hands come down. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, send your feet back, flow through chaturanga. Roll heart forward, baby cobra, cobra pose, or upward facing. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. On the inhale, soften knees, gaze goes forward, step or hop to the top, toes to the wrists, look up to lengthen. Exhale, fold. This time on the inhale, bring the big toes to touch as you squat deep, chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms up overhead, sink the hips down low. So squeeze those knees together. That gives you that leverage you need to pull the arm bones back in space. Shoulders stack over the hips, sink a little lower, gaze up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Both hands come down. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, send your feet back, flow through chaturanga. Inhale, roll heart forward, baby cobra, cobra pose, or upward facing. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. Now on your inhale, the right leg lifts high in the air. Exhale, step that right foot forward between the palms. Back knee comes down to the ground, uncurl toes. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze goes up. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So sink a little deeper here in your hips. Right knee will start to shift forward, and you're feeling it in front of that left hip. Reach long, take your gaze up. Inhale, On your exhale, bring hands through heart center. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, take a twist to the right. Hook your left elbow outside the right thigh. Palms connect here, gaze goes up for this modified revolved side angle. So you can twist even deeper by bringing the thumb knuckles to the center of the chest. Use your elbow as leverage. Press into the thigh, lift the belly up, twist even more. Take your gaze up here. One more inhale. On your exhale, unwind, arms back up overhead, gaze goes up, inhale here. Exhale, both hands come down to the ground. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up, send your right foot back, flow through, chaturanga. Inhale, roll heart forward. Baby cobra, cobra pose or upward facing. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. On your inhale, left leg lifts high in the air. Exhale, step the left foot forward between the palms, back knee comes down to the ground, uncurl toes. Inhale, arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze goes up, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. So sink those hips a little more, left knee starts to shift forward. Feeling it in front of that right hip. Gaze up on one more inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, take the twist to the left. Hook the right elbow outside the left thigh. Palms stay connected. Gaze goes up. Revolved side angle modified here. So use the leverage you have with that elbow into the thigh. Lift the belly up. Twist even more. Bring the thumb knuckles to the center of the chest. You'll twist even more. Gaze up on one more inhale. Exhale here. Inhale to unwind. Arms back up overhead. Gaze goes up. Exhale, both hands come back down. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee up, send your left foot back and flow through, chaturanga. Inhale, roll heart forward, baby cobra, cobra pose or upward facing. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. Take a full breath, inhale all the way to the top. Long breath, exhale, lower the knees to the ground, uncurl toes. Sit your hips back to your heels. Find child's pose here. Just a few breaths. So don't be afraid to come back to child's pose anytime you need a break. You can take that break here and rejoin anytime you're ready. Take that full breath, inhale all the way to the top. Long breath, exhale, let it all go. On the inhale, extend fingertips to the top of the mat. Allow elbows to lift. Exhale, slide hands back towards the shoulders. Rise back up, tabletop pose, hands and knees. Inhale. Exhale, tuck toes, shift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. On your inhale, the right leg lifts high in the air. Exhale, step the right foot forward between the palms. This time the back heel and the back knee stay lifted as you rise up to crescent lunge. Arms come up overhead, sink deep in that front knee. So tighten up the back leg right away. There's that balance you're looking for. Scissor the thighs toward each other, that helps too. Shoulders stack over the hips, gaze up on your inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, take the twist toward the right. Hook the left elbow outside that right thigh. Palms connect, gaze up. Revolve side angle. So gaze up on your inhale. Bring those thumb knuckles to the center of the chest. Same thing. Use the leverage with your elbow against the thigh to pick up the belly. Twist even more. One more inhale here. Exhale to stay. Now on your inhale, unwind, rise back up, open up big, warrior two. Blade of the back foot in and down, sink deep in that front knee. So check out that front knee. It's got to track toward the right. You don't want it collapsing inward. Reaching so long with your arms in both directions, shoulders right over the hips. Now on your inhale, flip the palms, take it back, reverse the warrior, long through the side body, sink a little bit deeper in that front knee. On the exhale, come back through center, straighten your front leg. Now reach long with those right fingertips, bring it all the way forward for length first, then right hand comes down to connect, left arm dives straight up, Uttita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So right hand to the top of the shin, top of the foot, ground outside the foot. Maybe you want that little bind with the first two fingers grabbing the big toe, pull up, gaze up. From here, press hips forward, roll that top shoulder back in space. Take the gaze up here, one more inhale. Exhale to stay. Inhale, rising back up. Keep that front leg straight. Flip the palms, take it back. Reverse your triangle. So now it's one line of energy from fingertips all the way down to the toes. Exhale, coming back up through center. Keep that front leg straight. Pivot all 10 toes so you're facing forward. So all toes face forward. Two arms to a T here. Beautiful. Turning the toes slightly inward. You're a little more pigeon-toed here. Exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, forward fold. Both hands come down to the ground. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Bow it in. So you ultimately want the crown of the head to touch the ground. It may be super far away. That's okay. Just spread the feet wider, bend the knees as much as you need to so that you can at least get the crown of the head to point downward. That way the spine's in the correct alignment. Now you can use your hands, press the floor away, fold even deeper. Maybe you take that bind. First two fingers, grab the big toes, and then bend the elbows, pull the chest through the thighs, fold even deeper here. Absolutely take that tripod headstand. Just because it's gentle doesn't mean you can't play. One more inhale here. Exhale, tripods making your way back down. Inhale, if you have the bind, release it now. Both hands come down. Look up to lengthen, straighten the arms. Exhale, hands to waist. Inhale, rise back up, arms to a T. Now pivoting the right toes forward, bend into that front knee, warrior two. Exhale here. Inhale, flip those palms, take it back, reverse your warrior. Exhale, both hands come down to the ground, frame the front foot, pause here. Back heel spins high, right arm sweeps open, twisted dragonfly. Gaze goes up, inhale here. Sink the hips down, tighten that back leg, fight the floor away with your left hand so you can pull that arm back, the right arm back a little more. One more inhale here. Exhale, right hand comes back down, send your right foot back. Flow through chaturanga. Inhale, roll heart forward, baby cobra, cobra pose, or upward facing. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high in the air. Exhale, step the left foot forward between the palms. Back heel and knee stay lifted. Rise up, crescent lunge, arms up high. Sink deep into that front knee. Tighten your back leg. There's that balance. Scissor the thighs together. Shoulders right over the hips. Reach long. Gaze up. Inhale. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, take your twist toward the left this time. Right elbow connects to the outside of the left thigh. Palms connect. Gaze goes up. Revolve side angle. So use that leverage. Dig the elbow into the thigh. Pick up belly. Twist even more. Thumb knuckles can come to the center of the chest. You can twist even more that way. One more inhale. Exhale to stay. Inhale, unwind. Open up big to warrior two. Blade of the back foot in and down. Sink deep into that front knee. So tighten up your back leg. Sink a little deeper. Just be mindful of that front knee. Make sure it tracks toward the left. Gazes over those left fingertips. Inhale, flip your palms, take it back, reverse your warrior, long through the side body, sink a little deeper here. On your exhale, come back through center, straighten the front leg, reach long, bring the upper body all the way forward for length first, then left hand comes down, right arm dives straight up in the air, gaze goes up here, Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. So left hand connects to the top of the shin, top of the foot, ground outside the foot. Take that bind, first two fingers, grab the big toe, pull up. Now you just want to press the hips forward and pull that top shoulder back in space so you can roll the heart space open to the ceiling, feeling like your back is pressed up against the wall behind you. On your inhale, rising back up, keep that front leg straight, flip the palms, take it back. Reverse the triangle, long through that side body, gaze goes up. On the exhale, coming back up through center. Now pivoting all 10 toes so your 10 toes face forward, arms to a T here, inhale. Exhale, interlace fingers behind the back this time, lift the chest. Inhale here, exhale, bow it forward, nice and slow. So again, crown of the head should point down to the ground if it can't touch. So if you're not there, spread the feet wide, bend the knees as much as you need to. Now you can start to allow that one big fist to fall away from the low back. You'll get more sensation through the shoulders. Inhale to rise back up, release your bind. Arms come back to a T here. On your exhale, inhale, pivot the left toes forward, and then exhale, reach, or actually bend into that front knee, just kidding. So bend into that front knee, warrior two. Gaze over those front fingertips. Now on your inhale, flip palms, take it back, reverse your warrior. Exhale, both hands come down to the ground. Frame the front foot, pause here, back heel spins high, left arm sweeps open. Gaze goes up, twisted dragonfly. Tighten that back leg, sink the hips, fight the floor away with the right hand. Sweep that left arm back just a bit more, create more space. One more inhale. Exhale, left hand comes back down, send the left foot back. Flow through that very last chaturanga. Inhale, roll heart forward, baby cobra, cobra pose or upward facing. Exhale, over toes, downward facing dog. Take a full breath, inhale here, all the way to the top. Long breath, exhale, lower knees to the ground, uncurl toes. Sit your hips back to your heels, finding child's pose. Here for a few breaths. And so anytime you're feeling discomfort, anytime you're stressed and you feel like you just can't get through it, come back to the breath. Meet the resistance that you feel in any situation with your breath. Your breath brings you to the present moment. You're safe in the present. The past experiences, they can't bother you, and neither can anything that you worry about in the future. You're safe right here in the present. On the inhale, extend fingertips to the top of the mat. Allow elbows to lift. Exhale, slide the hands back towards your shoulders, rising back up through hands and knees, tabletop pose on your inhale. Exhale, swing the legs around in front of you. Come to seated with your legs long in front. Bringing the legs together here. Feet come together, big toes touch, flex the feet, toes point straight up to the ceiling. Pressing the hands down to the sides next to the hips, sit up super tall in your inhale. Exhale, hinge at your waist, take that forward fold. Reach for the outsides of your feet. So if you can't reach your feet, no worries at all. Just bend your knees as much as you need to until you can reach the feet. Attaching the belly to the thighs. This way you're protecting the spine, but you can still get that stretch through the hamstrings and the low back. Inhale to rise back up, shoulders stack over the hips. Now on your inhale, bring the soles of the feet to connect. Slide the heels in towards your hips as close as they can come. That's your edge here. Allow the knees to drop open. Hands come to the tops of the feet here. Inhale, sit up super tall for length. Exhale, with that long spine, begin to take your forward fold, folding over the feet. In this fold, it might be plenty for you, but if you want just a little bit more, use the elbows wherever they fall on the insides of the legs. You can press the knees or legs down, open up the hips just a bit more. Inhale to rise back up. Shoulders stack over the hips. On your exhale, keep the left knee bent. Extend the right leg long in front of you. Bring the sole of the left foot to connect to the inside of the right thigh. Sit up super tall here for length. Inhale, exhale, take your forward fold over that right leg. Reach for the outsides of that right foot. Again, if you can't reach the foot, you can bend the knee here as well. Bringing awareness back to your breath. to rise back up. Shoulders stack over the hips. Now switching sides, extend that left leg. Bring the sole of the right foot to connect to the inside of the left thigh. Sit up super tall in that inhale. Sit up super tall. Then on the exhale, take that fold over the left leg, reaching for the outsides of the left foot. Again, bend the knee if you need to. Inhale to rise back up, shoulders stack over the hips, extending both legs out long in front of you. Now bend the knees, soles of the feet to the ground, hands behind the back, lower all the way down to the back. Bringing the knees into the chest, catch the outsides of the feet with your hands. Draw the knees in toward the armpits. Soles of the feet face the ceiling. Bring the elbows on the insides of the knees, happy baby. So take happy baby your way. Some like to stay perfectly still. Some like to rock side to side. You can straighten one leg at a time. You can straighten both legs at the same time. Always take what works for you. One more inhale here. On your exhale, release your feet. Bring the knees into the chest. Wrap the arms around the shins. Forehead comes up to the knees. Inhale. Exhale, lower knees over to the left side. As you twist and gaze over to the right, simple supine spinal twist. Inhale to bring the knees back through center. Wrap arms around the shins. Forehead comes up to the knees. Exhale, lower knees over to the other side as you twist and gaze over to the left. Simple supine spinal twist. Inhale, now bring the knees back through center. Wrap arms around the shins. Forehead comes up to the knees, hugging it in so very tightly. Here, one last time. Take that full breath, inhale all the way to the top. Fill it all the way up. And now a long breath, exhale, let it all go. Legs come long in front of you. Arms come long to your sides. Taking up as much space as you want here. Spread feet wide. Arms can spread wide. Feet drop open, palms face up. And coming back to your simple breath here, seal the eyes and take rest. And so these guys, they're gonna take their Shavasana now. Take as long as you want at home, and we will see you real soon. Thank you so much. Namaste.